Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Endzone 2. We begin Season 2. It starts with a lovely new intro that wasn't present in the game when we launched in Early Access here. It's still in Early Access, but when we first launched into this phase of development, we did not have this intro. But it's looking really cool and you can see a lot of the graphical enhancements that have been made since development continued. And those of us who have survived want to create our new home in the wasteland. Countless dangers await us, but it's time to leave the shelter of our end zone, something which we didn't have again in the early phases of development. The Pathfinder was just placed in the middle of nowhere. The end zones do make a return, and that is exactly what we are looking to begin with. So we are going to loot up here as much as we can and immediately find our first area to inhabit. Now, I've turned off the voice acting. It was a bit distracting for you guys, and I've taken on that feedback, so you do miss out on a few of the things. We do have a zone right next to us, which is already revealed on the map here, so we're going to drive up to that and just have a look at what they've got. It looks like we've got swampland, fertile soil, clay, coal, restorable ruins, and some wild animals. There is a couple of areas of water there. What have we got for restorable ruins? There is an old wind turbine and a decaying iodine mine. Both of those are pretty useful. We want to stay within the range of the end zone actually, because we want to be able to get back and loot what's left there, and there's also quite a few buildings nearby that we can, so I think maybe just setting up here is probably a good idea. So we're going to bring our Pathfinder up. We are going to build our first settlement. We're going to try and build it quite close to here. We do get a nice pool of starting resources, which does help us out immensely, and then we just need to pick where our town centre is going to go. Now, I like that we've got some fertile ground next to a lake there. We've also got swampland next to a lake, and I reckon putting our town centre kind of in and around this forested area might be a good place to start. Now, we are close to the decaying mine and the wind turbine that way, and it'll give us a nice area to start our settlement. We could go over here again next to the iodine mine, or we could stick with my original plan. I think that's what we're going to do. So our town centre is going to go there. Obviously that means we've cleared a load of wood, but we do need to get on with things pretty quickly. We have built Terra Nova and we are ready to go. So the first thing we want to do is get a jetty put in place very quickly. Now I'm going to try and put these on the other side of the river because I don't really want to interfere too much with what I've got going on in where my new town centre is going to be. So we're going to run a gravel path up to here. We'll have it go along here and just continue going. We're missing resources. What are we missing? Probably tools. So if I just have a quick look at the Pathfinder, we can head back to the ruins here of the end zone, where there are definitely some tools there, so that's good. That's what we need. We'll get our jetty starting to build, and then we also need food, which is going to come in place of a fishing hut, which can go down. Excellent. We are missing some resources for that. Again, it is tools. The next step is going to be to get a wood cutting lodge up and running, and I'm probably going to put that quite far away really. We want to try and set up some timber, but not to the point where it's going to be interfering with our main settlement. And then we will use a scrap collector over in this area here. So actually, with that in mind, let's put our timber over here. So when we build that road, it's going to go all the way up to there. So we want to put our timber in line with this building, I guess. Yeah, the building is going to be there. So if we have a quick look at where this road is going to go, it's going to go right the way up there. Right, so let's get the Pathfinder back out to the end zone there. We'll speed it up a little bit so it gets there quickly, and then we will loot the ruin that is in place there. We are also going to need to start building some housing pretty quickly, so let's get that done. We'll just remove everything from here, and that is now loaded up. The end zone is clear, and while we're on, we might as well just go sweep past these couple of buildings that are on the way and get any extras that might be in there too. We've got one there, so again we'll grab all of this stuff and back in. Pathfinder moving along now, looting here, and again more scrap and plastic, which is very useful, and we'll just quickly grab this one before heading back to our settlement. Nice, that's a pretty good start. So we can fly back up to here. We will exchange everything with the settlement, get it all dumped in. Our depot's full, so that's good. We've got plenty of food and stuff that we're going to be able to put to use. And then we'll pause things a second. I'm just going to make sure that we're set on the slowest game speed. And then we'll build our first road going out to here. I didn't want that last little nubbin that we've put in there. So we'll get rid of that. There we go. And then another road will go along here. We'll just link them up like that. Yeah, that'll do. And let's actually just demolish this because we don't need it really. Then we will put in our wood cutting lodge in the space here. That is then going to change its area to this space so that we can take down those trees, clear out the area around our initial settlement startup, and then a scrapyard is going to go down right on the edge there, and their area is going to be focused around here. Then we can put a recycler around the back there and run this little path all the way up to here. Oh, it's just missed. Damn. Let's have a look at where we can place this then. Wonder if we just demolish that, we'll not have that one work in that area, and then we will put our recycler down here. Then we can get rid of this road that I've mistakenly put in a new one that just goes to the edge there. There we have it. Right, okay, so we have our basic infrastructure set up. We've got wood, we've got scrap, we've got a jetty, and we have people to start working in the fishery, so we'll get that built up. Excellent. Right, we are underway. Cool. So we do want to build another road that kind of comes along here, and then outside of town we'll put a road that goes all the way along to there. Cool. Right, that's in. Now we have added a bulletin board. These guys have an interesting ruin that settlers believe can help improve the settlement. It's a restorable mine. It's a decaying iodine mine, which we can't do anything with right now. Now, looking at our research, we don't actually have any research points to begin with, so it's probably best that we get back in the Pathfinder and start looking for some ruins that we can have a look at. So currently our Pathfinder, I'm actually going to try, and is there a way to hold the Pathfinder in place so we can see it at all times? No, we don't. Right, that's fine. Next is going to be about housing our citizens. We've found an old bridge, so the bridge across to the new zone is right next to us, which is very good. I'm going to loot stuff here, so again, tools and scrap, very important, and then we will keep going along the coastline. My aim is going to be specializing here so that we can get that sorted. Now, they do want us to upgrade the old wind turbine. We're going to leave that for now. And we've got a lot of scrap in this area here that we're going to need to clear out. And then over here at our wood cutting lodge, we are going to start putting the jobs into place. We are losing water, so another person working in the jetty would be useful. Oh, we also need some food. Now, we can't put food into place yet. Oh, we can. We've got fish. So fish is fine. Once we get some people working in the fishery and that is constructed and up and running, we will be able to progress there. So the Pathfinder has currently reached its destination. We're going to loot stuff from there and then move on. And again, continuing to progress around the map, unlocking as many expeditions and loots we can get. We are going to continue grabbing and moving on to the next location back in our town. Then I think housing is probably going to be our next thing. So at the moment we can only get 5 settlers per house, so we will go and build a couple of tents in here and around our main settlement area. That'll allow us to increase our population up to about 20. And I don't want to go too much into population because that is pretty much what kind of killed us last time. We had expansion all over the place, we grew too quickly and we could never really cope with it. Whilst I do have that in mind, I do need to be very aware of the fact that we will need to hit the research ground running very, very quickly and get stuff sorted pretty soon. We're just going to loot here again, wood and scrap. We can pile in a little bit more scrap there, and then we're going to have to go back to the settlement to drop off. With that in mind, then we better start building some logistic areas where we can put in the cistern here. And then we're going to need a food depot, which we can just fit in there. And lastly, a material depot, which does cover all of our areas there. Now, we're missing a few resources for the material depot. I'm not quite sure what it is we are missing. It is plastic. Now, I think I have some in the Pathfinder, which is on its way back. if we just have a quick look at where he's got to. There he is. Does he have some plastic? He's got 3 units of plastic. But once all of these buildings are up and running, we'll start getting plastic and stuff from these buildings very soon. The recycler, that's the fishery going now. We should start seeing food coming in. There we go. We are now increasing in everything. The next step then is going to be a workshop, which we get from the trades and crafts tab here. And looking at what it needs, it's got to be near wood. It's got to be near scrap. We can get it near wood and scrap. There's no depot in the vicinity there because we've built that depot a little bit further away than I would have liked. So it's just out of reach. Although, has the depot just not been built yet? That is the material depot. So once it's actually built, the workshop will be in range just. So if I can put the workshop in there, and then we can have a look at how we can build a little path that goes all the way around to get to it, which is possible. Keep it nice and tight in here. There we go. Right, so that just about gets all of that up and running. Once that ruin is cleared, though, we will be you know, things will improve a lot for us. So we're going to drop all of this stuff off. That's great. And then the Pathfinder will head back out to continue grabbing resources and stuff. I think we've done quite a bit of this side now. If I just keep pushing forward, we'll head over to here and we will speed things up. And it's looking pretty good so far. And yeah, what do we had? Oh, that was just for the bridge. We're going to have to keep going around, see what we can find. I think this might not have anything in either. Yes, we got to here. And we did actually successfully loot everything from there. We're going to stick on the road. And we're just going to follow the road all the way around. Again, plastic and tools, which is plastic and scrap, sorry. Which is good. Down here we've got a big old ruin here, so this could be our first explore. That would be very useful. We're just going to come through here, grab any excess that we can take. We've got 2 little explorations here, which will be very useful. So let's head to this warehouse first. We'll start our expedition and see what we've got. Now, last time I think my expeditions might have bugged. There was one that I definitely couldn't make any use of, which was unfortunate. Now we can pick up a plank here. And there's quite a few items that we do need to use here. I'm seeing bottom supports and stuff. There's a blowtorch and a crate. And then I think we're going to need to hook up the plank here. Oh, no, that's upstairs. Okay, right. That's fine. We can go to the cable drums then. Good. Get the cable drums done. And then the pallet stack, which we'll look at. I think we're going to need to move that somehow. No, that just gives us a research point, which is great. The transformer box we actually need to hook something up to. So we can't actually do that yet. We need to... Oh, no. It's just got transformers in. Okay, I was wrong. Then we'll head up and take this barrel. And then we're going to need to go along to this bottom support here. Put the wooden beam in. There we go, and then we can move across and loot the crate, and that should complete this first expedition, giving us some glass and a few other bits and pieces. We also unlock the lockpick there, which is really, really useful. That's going to help us get into some other areas, and we've 100%ed our first expedition, so we can leave here. We'll pick up the plank that we need, and then we can actually end the expedition and load everything into the Pathfinder, which is currently full. So we'll end that. Then we better head back. We've also found Rusty Rolf just over here in the wasteland. So that's really good, actually. There's a new zone there as well. And this one seems to have a house there. There's coal. There's some fertile soil and some clay. That could be a very useful settlement for us, actually. If we just get them producing clay, coal, and other stuff there with the fertile ground, that might be a really, really good settlement for us, and it should help boost the economy of the rest of the place. So we do have all of our houses in place. We've got 1 person to work in the workshop here. They'll be able to produce tools, which we aren't using a lot of right now, and that keeps us in good stead. Now over here as well, we can build our material depot finally, which means the workshop will get a further boost to its efficiency, and we can start looking at other means of collecting things. We could do with a charcoal burner. That would definitely help us produce stuff that we need to continue, but for now research is going to be our main thing. And I want to move into doing things like farming and getting my food maxed out as quickly as possible. So that's probably going to be the thing that we need to do, but I think for now getting a clay pit built and getting that up and running is going to be really beneficial to us, considering that clay is rife over here and we can make a lot of stuff out of that, including, you know, the bricks that we're going to need to increase and upgrade our houses. Right, with that in mind, a tailor's workshop is probably going to be our next best thing. They need to be near cloth and coal production, and before we do any of that we are going to need to build a plantation, which comes under our raw materials. So the plantation has to go on fertile soil. We've got plenty of fertile soil down here, so we're going to build our first plantation right there, and we will put a road going up to it. We'll just eliminate that little bit of fertile ground there. So once the plantation is built, we can decide what seeds we're going to use, and it's likely going to be fibers, which we can then turn into fabrics. So looking over here, the plantation needs to be near a depot and a efficiency increase due to the education, which is something that has been added to the game recently. We are going to grab fibers from here. We're going to stick that seed on, and then we will start planting. We're going to go up to here, and then we're going to go around here to there. Got 77 used there, and then along to here takes us up to 97, and then I think we're just going to have to go with 3 at the back. I might actually remove here, and we'll remove here, and then we'll put in another row down here, and there should be 3 that I can get rid of somewhere. We'll take them out, and then we'll put in 3 just to make it nice and uniform. Now that that's done, we can get 1 person working in the plantation, and we can build our first weaving mill. That's in trades and crafts, and the weaving mill could be next to water and fiber. Also, having a depot in the vicinity helps. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to build a well, which not necessarily needed, but I think putting a well right here is going to really help because it gives us the efficiency bonus there. We can just plumb a well keeper in, and we also get a little bit of residual water from that, whilst being able to give our weaving mill a big increase to it. Now, having a depot nearby also helps, so that is what we're going to do next. It's got to be a material depot. We can put that right here next to the access point, and once that is built, the bonuses to the weaving mill will be pretty substantial, really. So as soon as we get that in, that's going to look really good, and get a well keeper working that well to give us the water. And as you can see here, we do lose water, and we're currently losing water and food, so we're going to need to once again put someone else working in the fishery, and you can see that that starts going up immediately, and the same with the water. Right, that's really good. So we have a material depot that's just been finished constructing, and you can see here we now have access to depots, the road linked to the town centre, and we get those efficiency bonuses from a lot of other stuff. So you can see here, worker, road link, depots in the vicinity. It's also close to the production that we have there of stuff that we need for weaving. There's a decrease due to the lack of education. No, there isn't actually. Supplied with electricity, depots in the vicinity, a road link to the town centre, and yeah, we're looking pretty good there. Now, if I boost the people working in here, you can see that we start to lose stuff, but increasing, yeah, right there we are on increasing those things. So let's put another one in there. Water is, we are losing water again. So let's put 2 more into the jetty, and that should solve those issues. But getting a second jetty, there's absolutely no issue with that. Our toolmaker, on the other hand, though, where's our workshop? We are going to need to put more people to work in the tool workshop so that that recovers and remains at a constant gain. I think that's a decent setup now. So let's just have a look. We have our Pathfinder ready to drop some stuff off. Now, I'm going to keep some of the tools. I'm going to get rid of the lockpick, and then we're going to have our Pathfinder head back out to the region where Rusty Rolf was and have a look at this warehouse here. Going back to our settlement, you can see we need another house if we're planning on increasing things any further. And this is where things can start to get a little bit dicey. We currently have research projects on the go that we're going to need to go for the clay pit and the brickwork. So that's going to allow us to then unlock a house, which will give our settlers a little bit more space to move and an extra living quarter. I'm going to put another house down here and another one right here. So we can take our population there up to 30, which I think will be really good. We don't currently have a master builder, which actually means we're going to need to drop somebody out of the... Oh, no, we don't actually, because they are currently building, and then they'll move on and build another house, and then we should be okay. Right, coming back over to here, we are going to start our expedition, and this is probably going to be our last part of the first episode. So we're going to crack open some trash containers and stuff. Nice bit of plastic there. The container, I think we're going to need to do something to get into that, probably using a fire axe, I would guess, or... Oh, it's iron tools that we need for that. There's a bicycle there, and discovering that doesn't actually do anything for us. We do have a little arrow pointing into here, so we're going to follow the instruction and go in, and in the crate we find some stuff, and the shelf also gives us some stuff, and we grab a generator as well. The bicycle is just a bit of additional lore, and until we get access to that container, there's not a lot else we can do. So we'll grab the generator and we will move on. We don't really get iron tools for a while yet. We've got to research all of that sort of stuff, unless Rusty Rolf happens to have some. So let's have a look at what he might have for us once we've had a look in this ruin here. What is there? A little bit of stuff there. I think actually I've forgotten to loot stuff from here. I've left it all in there. Yep, grab all of them. Oh, that was actually the other one. So we've got more here to get as well. I didn't mean to start the expedition, but let's see. We will end the expedition. We want to grab everything from the warehouse and end it. There we go. That's better. Right. Up to see Mr. Rolf, we'll call him. We'll go and have a look and see what he's got. There's a scrapyard there, which could be useful, and another new zone right next to Rolf. So that's good. What does he have? So he's currently got tools, water, food, transformers, copper, lead and scrap. We can actually take some quests from him later on to be able to boost the reputation that we have with him, and once that gets up to higher amount, we get actually better deals with him. But for now, we're going to go and drop all of this stuff off in Terra Nova, and you can see our population is starting to look really, really healthy right now. The fishery is maxed out, so right now we can't actually do anything with that. We just have to leave it at its maximum. We do need to research our clay pit, so that's going to be the next thing we do, and that gets us off to a really, really solid start. So as night has fallen, I think probably the best time for us now to say goodbye and end our first episode of Endzone 2 Season 2. Let's just go to a nice little overview of our settlement here as it gets dark, and I hope you've enjoyed this first look at Endzone 2 Season 2, where there have been a lot of updates. Hopefully now we'll be able to explore them fully with a new map. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.